Okay, so welcome everybody to the Past Life Regression Book Club. I'm really happy to see everyone here. It's a pleasure to have you here in this evening. We have something very exciting lined up. So let us begin this and let me share something like what we are about to do to get us some idea. You've heard about Uh, you've read probably you have heard about this book, Many Lives, Many Masters. It's a pioneering work by Dr. Brian Weiss. Okay. My voice is clear, everybody. Yeah, Dr. Brian Weiss is a psychiatrist and a hypnotherapist, and for many decades, while researching the human mind and the mysteries of the human mind, uh, he has discovered many things, which is exciting and which has changed everything that we know about uh, ourselves in many ways. So, in this book, Dr. Brian Weiss shares with his readers his amazing journey in the world of past life regression therapy, a therapy whereby one can get access to your past life, relive it, and relieve it also. So, you are able to recall the memories of the past life, and whatever blocks are there, it is gone. So, in this book, basically, he describes his work with patient Catherine. Catherine was a patient, and Dr. Weiss learned the incredible healing power of past life regression therapy, healing emotional wounds that Catherine had, opening the secrets of the human mind, recounting her past life experiences. And he found that Catherine had vivid recollection. It was too much of detail, unimaginable. And he began to realize the enormous and profound implications of her experience. And she was having certain problems which started to disappear. So Dr. Brian Weiss delved very deep into the world of past life regression, where he encounters different characters that Catherine had lived, and also spiritual guides and masters he met. And these spiritual guides, masters, which he talks about, many lives, many masters. So these masters, these guides, they offered a lot of wisdom and guidance, which also helped Dr. Weiss. It also helped Catherine. So both of them were benefiting from this. And Catherine understood the roots of her problem, the roots of her fears and anxieties that she was having. And she found a path of healing and growth. So through this book, Dr. Weiss shares his personal growth also and transformation. He was into psychiatry, but uh, he opened up to this world of past life regression. And he tries to make sense of these implications for the future of therapy itself. And he introduces the concept of reincarnation, karma, spiritual evolution, and the role of past life regression in enabling this personal growth and transformation. We all can experience this personal growth and transformation. So, Many Lives, Many Masters is an intellectually challenging and emotionally moving book that challenges our understanding of the nature of consciousness and of human experience. And through the mysteries of past life regression, Dr. Wise opens new possibilities for healing and growth, something that may forever transform the face of therapy as we know it. So, today we are going to start the exploration. Tomorrow also will continue and will end on day 3. And I have a interesting lineup of speakers for this. So, I would like to invite our first speaker, and let me introduce her. She's a holistic healer and devoted to guiding individuals towards self discovery and emotional balance and spiritual growth. She's the Reiki master, a past life regression therapist, and a crystal healer, emotional freedom technique practitioner, inner child healer, and she supports everyone in releasing those things that don't work for them and authentic reconnection. As an alpha dynamic meditation coach, she blends mind training with relaxation to unlock subconscious potential and manifest clarity driven goals. Through intuitive tarot, she offers empowering insights that foster self awareness, healing, and confident decision making. She is none other than Captain Amreen Tyagi. So let's welcome her and let me just bring her to spotlight and can unmute 1 minute. I'll just you can unmute yourself. Yes.
Thank you, Sachin sir. Thank you so much for such kind words. So I will be taking you all through this journey. Uh, what happens in the very first chapter. So this book, as sir mentioned, Many Lives, Many Masters, it bridges science, psychology, and spirituality in the most unexpected way. Even the author did not, he was also surprised when he had to uh, reveal certain aspects. So in first chapter, Dr. Brian, he himself has written this book. So in this book, um, I'll tell you something about Dr. Brian. So he is a highly respected psychiatrist, a well-trained in traditional medicine, is logical and very susceptible about reincarnation and spirituality. So what happens is he is coming from a medical background which covers the facts, figures, and experiments. And what he will experience through this client will open his eyes as well as give a path to his transformation journey as well. This chapter begins with him introducing his new client, Catherine. Catherine is a 27-year-old young woman suffering from crippling anxiety, recurring nightmares, and numerous irrational fears. Despite years of conventional therapy, medication, and analysis, her condition does not improve. She is deeply afraid of water. She has this water phobia. Her fears were too intense. She at times also avoided having medicines because she had fear that it might choke her. Even sometimes she missed out on her food. She also suffered the fear of darkness. She had already taken n number of therapies, medication, and analysis, which did not help her at all. And with a hesitation, she approached and goes into the consultation with Dr. Brian. Her fears were so intense and consistent and so disabling to be dismissed as any normal anxiety. It also, during the first interaction with Dr. Brian, it made Dr. Brian also frustrated because nothing in her childhood or medical history explained the reasons of her condition. It was that intense. That meant that she had no specific incident of her this present life that would lead to the root cause of her fears and phobias that could be treated by the psychiatrist. So, in this chapter, Dr. Bryan himself, a man of science, wouldn't easily accept mystical explanations. However, it was very evident that her condition seemed to come from a place much deeper than her conscious memory. And as a therapist, he did not lose hope. All he did was to work with her. This was hinting at something unusual that was waiting to be uncovered. For Dr. Bryan and Catherine, what we are about to read is the life changing discovery, and it is a journey to the transformation for both of them. So, the important takeaways from this chapter are introduction of Catherine, who is suffering from all her fears in phobias that seem unexplained by current life events. And there is absolutely no connection of the events happening in her life now and her present. The therapist, who is very skeptical, Miss Dr. Bryan, who is highlighted as a logical and scientific mindset person, making his later transformations more striking. When is this new case would eventually shake his belief system, entire belief system, and lead to the discoveries far beyond medicines. This chapter, hence, set the tone right for preparing the readers and the listeners today for a very extraordinary journey ahead. So let's hear from the next speaker what happens in the next chapter.
Yes, thank you, Amreen. Thank you so much for sharing this. So, the next chapter, I'm going to share something what happened after that. So, would you like to uh, say something about me?
So Sachin sir has been the guru for past life regression therapies. He has been recently nominated as the best past life regression therapist in Mumbai, a coach, a guide for all the therapists like us. He is a Reiki grandmaster, a crystal healer himself. His way of transforming people, their life, is very different. He can speak to a child, to an old man, without judging them. So,
Thank you
yes,
so much.
and listening to him is a treat.
Thank you so much. So, I'm going to share some things about the second chapter. And the idea behind this book club is every we are planning that every month we'll take up new book and we'll learn something new. So it enriches us, and by sharing what our knowledge, it gives pleasure also, and it gives us an opportunity to introduce these ideas to a lot more people. So let me share with you the second chapter of this beautiful book. So in the second chapter, so many lives, many masters of Dr. Brian Weiss. He continues his remarkable journey into the world of past life regression. And as a novel therapeutic practice, uh, uh, this that explores the phenomena of past life memories and the therapeutic benefit, this alternative approach, this past life regression. So in this second chapter, he talks about his first regression with Catherine. So Dr. Brian Weiss takes Catherine to her first past life regression. So first he relaxes him, and in order to explore her subconscious mind, he goes to a very deep level, and then Catherine relaxes, and she goes into a trance-like state. It's like they are. It's she's not unconscious. She's aware, but it's in a very deep level, right? And In that level, what happens is you have the access to your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind has the storage of all the information that that you have gathered, all the lives that you have lived, all that memories are there in the subconscious mind. So she's able to remember a life of being a young woman named Aronda in ancient Egypt. And this happened accidentally. Like, she's just said, "Okay, okay, fine, go to the root cause of this problem." And she directly went into that lifetime in Egypt. Even Dr. Brian Weiss also was amazed. And he realized that she was describing everything with very vividness. And her memories were very intense. It was so much real. It was more than a fantasy or imagination. He could see, he could realize that this is true. This is not like imagination. It is her actual real life, because nobody can describe it in such detail. And Catherine's memory of Aronda as Aronda was full of sensory details. How she feel, how she lived her life, and that brought to the forefront the ancient Egyptian sites, sound, emotions. So her recall of Aronda's relationship, her struggles, her triumphs, it was a vivid image of a life of another time, another era. And the authenticity of Catherine's memories had left Dr. Brian Weiss very, very impressed. So it seems as if it's drawn from a deep well of experience. And all this, she was sharing. And Catherine was talking about Aranda. And Dr. Brian Weiss observed that she makes an extremely emotional connection between Catherine and her past life as Aranda. Catherine's emotion about Oranda felt quite raw and authentic, as though she were actually reliving the experiences of Oranda. And that's what happens in past life regression. People relive their experiences. And reliving, it is said that it relieves you. So this emotional resonance shows that Catherine's past life memory are not like an intellectualization or imagination exercise, but they're very personal and emotionally they're valid, they're true, they are real. What happened after that? It's even more interesting. So Dr. Brian Weiss starts to understand that it has a very powerful therapeutic application. He realized that Catherine's memory can be the answer to her current life symptoms. Whatever she shared, like her challenges as Oranda, were the cause of the effect she was experiencing as Catherine in this current life. So, by probing the roots of Catherine's anxiety and phobia in her past life experiences, Dr. Brian Weiss hoped to recover and uncover the underlying cause of her distress. And that's what happened. After that session, her symptoms started disappearing. And the concept of karma is also very important here. It's one of the concepts that he suggests could be a possibility in Catherine's life also, life experiences, which influence her current life. So according to him, whether Catherine's memory are some form of karmic debt carried forward in the present is a question that needs to be answered. And this concept challenges our conventional understanding of psychotherapy. In India, we understand, we talk about karma, but for Catherine to understand that, and for even for Dr. Brian Weiss, it was something new. and making him understand, it made him understand that there is a possibility of a greater, more complex universe. It's not that you just take birth somehow and then you die and it's all over. It's not like that. The universe is more complex. And what is the role of a therapist? So Dr. Brian Weiss says that his ability as a therapist, it was to confront the new strange approach. He was a conventional therapist, psychotherapist, hypnotherapist. But this was something new. This was the first client that went into past life. And he had to find a way to understand all this. Still, he had this little bit of skepticism, but his mind was open. And as Dr. Brian Weiss and Catherine moved further into the world of past life regression therapy, it was a journey that challenged their understanding of human experience. Because karma and all these concepts are very, very new for them. We believe in past life, but for them, they were not brought up like that, right? So this journey took him to the forefront of a new and innovative approach. It was not totally new. There are many people who have done it, but for them it was new. The one approach that promises to unlock the secret of the human subconscious. So in this first regression, Dr. Brian Weiss, which he shares in this second chapter, he invites the readers to join him on this journey of the unknown, a journey that will challenge our assumptions about the nature of consciousness and the human experience. Through exploring the therapeutic potential of past life regression, Dr. Brian Weiss opens a new possibility of healing and growth, a possibility that changes the face of therapy, how it is done in present. So that was the second chapter. So uh, let me see. Do we have Shivangi is here with us? So are you ready, Shivangi? Now I'm going to add you on the spotlight. So before, uh, let me just add her right now. Okay. You can start your video, Shivangi. Are you with me? Okay, fine. So Shivangi is unable to. She's traveling right now, so she's unable to. So I'll just continue with this chapter 3 and chapter 4. We have Pratiksha. Okay, so I'll continue with the chapter 3 then. Okay. So what happens in chapter 3? Welcome, Disha. The the floodgates open. So in chapter 3 of Many Lives, Many Masters, Dr. Brian Weiss delves deeper into the world of past life regression. Okay. So in this chapter, he probes deeper into this, revealing patterns and themes emerging in Catherine's regressions. So what are the patterns? Let's see. So some patterns repeat lifetime after lifetime until we break them. So that's what he discovered. And Dr. Brian Weiss takes Catherine to a series of regressions. So every week he would do a session, and in the days to come after the session, she was seeing some changes in herself. Each regression reveals something new and interesting about her past life experience. And Catherine recalls life after life. Means many times people see what happens when you die. So what happens? She saw that. What happens after that? And many people who have going through past life regression, they see. Like today, I had a session, and this lady from US, she's a doctor, and she saw her past life, and also she saw what happened after uh, after the death in that lifetime. So many people experience this, and Dr. Brian Weiss begins to notice patterns and themes emerging from her memories. So these patterns showed that these past life experiences are interconnected. Many people who are in current life, they are also part of your past life. So each lifetime is built on the last one. You know, so many times, if you're struggling in some area in this lifetime, it's if you just unlock the previous lifetime, the struggle of this lifetime also disappears. And Catherine remembered a life of a young boy named Johann in the 17th century in Spain, a different country, a different life. So in this life, Catherine was very poor, lot of hardships and abandonment. And the striking similarity between Johann's life and Catherine's experience in present life made Dr. Weiss think that the unresolved issues of the past are perhaps influencing our present. And this is what happens. The recurring thing was abandonment. Many people have this. Like many people come for, past life regression therapy. They have this fear of abandonment, uh, these kind of things, right? Even though nothing has happened in this life, but still they have. So Catherine had something like this, and this theme echoed in her current life experience. She was struggling with feelings of insecurity, low self-esteem. So people who have this insecurity, low self-esteem, maybe the cause is not in this lifetime. Maybe it's in the previous lifetime. So by exploring the roots of this theme in her past life experience, Dr. Brian Weiss was uncovering the underlying cause of her distress. And that's where things change. That's why after every session, she was feeling more and more freedom. And in this chapter, Dr. Brian Weiss introduces the concept of soulmates, chapter 3. Very interesting. Many of you, we say, he's my soulmate, she's my soulmate, like that. But perhaps we are we are actually connected across many lifetimes. Maybe it is true. It is true. And Catherine's past life experience is somehow connected with her current life experience, current life relationship also. It's same with you also. And somehow it unlocks the key to the emotional struggle. Many people have emotionally, a very difficult life, loneliness, partner is not listening to me, or partner is not cooperating, like that. And even though I had a client who has everything in life, but still there is a lack of happiness, lack of togetherness, lack of love. This is what is addressing. And then Dr. Brian Weiss also starts feeling the sense of presences of spiritual guides. When he was doing sessions with Catherine, Catherine was connecting with spiritual guides, masters who were surrounding Catherine. And these guides seem to be influencing Catherine's regressions. They were helping. Spirit guides actually help you in regressions. Offer them, offer you wisdom, guidance on why you have these patterns, why this is happening in your life. So all these things were revealed to her in her past life experience. So Dr. Brian Weiss had the opportunity to also get guidance from this. These guides are very crucial in a past life regression session, and we have seen that many times. If we have seen this, so Brian Weiss and Catherine explore the patterns and themes of past life, and they begin to experience breakthroughs. Catherine's symptoms diminish. They begin to diminish. And she starts to experience a sense of peace and resolution, which she did not get from conventional therapy. So Dr. Brian Weiss realized that past life regression therapy is the key to making helping people in that, bringing freedom. Because this approach is different. It doesn't just it's not on the surface. It goes deep into your past life. The secrets which are buried in the past, it removes that. It unlocks that. So this journey in the world of past life regression, this is a journey that challenges everything. Everything that they knew about human mind and human experience was challenged, and they were open. This journey took them to the forefront of a very innovative approach, and that's why we say the floodgates were open. In this chapter number 3, Dr. Brian Weiss invites the readers to be open to the unknown. Many things we don't know. We cannot assume that we know everything. There are many things we don't know. And this is what Brian Weiss is inviting us, that explore what you don't know. Why you are looking all around the world, there is so much to see in within. All our yogis also have, rishis have also said the same thing. You look within, and that's what he's saying. And this journey, he invites the readers to take this journey, take this challenge, find out more about yourself. You know about mathematics, you know about physics, you know about psychology, you know about aerodynamics, and you know about aircraft engineering, you know everything. You know about history, geography, everything. But what do you know about yourself? So he's inviting the readers to know about yourself. And he's saying that this journey will challenge your assumptions about the nature of consciousness, about yourself, and exploring the patterns and theme of past life memories opens new possibilities in every area of life, in health, relationship, in growth, personal growth, business growth, in every area it can free you up. So that is the chapter number 3. How many of you are finding this interesting? Just type in the chat box something like, one word which describes this. Is it amazing? Is it exciting you? If it is exciting you, I would like to invite our next speaker, and let me say something about this wonderful person. She is a past life regression therapist, a Reiki master teacher, a Reiki channel energy healer. She's also a Akashic record reader, which is really something, uh, even which is also very popular, like past life regression. And she believes that true healing has to begin within oneself, and only then will this healing help the world around us, and that our internal life creates our external life. I totally agree with her. And she's an entrepreneur in the retail space, and she spends her time in the busy city of Mumbai and in the beautiful city of Darjeeling. Yes, she's none other than Pratiksha. So let us welcome Pratiksha, and let me add her to Spotlight. And you can unmute yourself now, and let's hear from Pratiksha. Welcome, Pratiksha.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I just wanted to thank all of you for being here, taking out an hour of your day to be here. But if you're here, it also means that you are interested in or you're curious about what past life regression is. And We are so happy doing this book club reading. It's our first, and I'm sure there will be many more. And through this, the next 3 days, beginning today, we hope that we'll be able to answer some of your questions that are in your mind with reference to what past life regression is, what exactly happens, and do you get answers to certain questions. So, as a basic premise, you do know that our patterns and a lot of incidents of this life, a lot of trauma probably, if you have nothing to explain for why they're happening in this life, are rooted in our past lives. And today, the book that we're reading is Many Lives, Many Masters. Now, mind you, in today's day and age, past life regression has become quite a popular fad amongst the circle that we move in. A lot of people who didn't know about past life regression, what it meant till a couple of years ago, do understand, if not the basic premise, but they do understand what happens. But this book, so this is the book, I don't know if you can see it. This is actually my first copy. I bought this when I was a teen, and I still have it. And thank you. Thanks to this book club, I got to read it again. This book, penned by Dr. Brian Weiss, it's actually his first book, and it's after he met Catherine, and all his chronicles were there, and how he, by accident, understood that if you regress, there are past lives, and there are answers in our past lives. This was written in 1982, so that's like 4 decades ago. And this has been a slow building movement where in certain, it started, people started using it in smaller circles. And today, thankfully, it may not be a part of mainstream psychology, but it is a part of parapsychology where you can find answers to the questions that you're looking for. So I'm here today, and I'm going to take you through chapter 4 of the book. So in chapter 4, Catherine visits two more of her past lives. In one life, she goes back to the late 1800s, and she is Abby, who's a black servant to white masters. So she is somewhere in the Americas who lived in slave. I did not want to use the term slave, but yes, she talks about her white masters and estates of tobacco, etc. And she talks about her life there, how she used to make butter, what she did, the work that she did for her white masters. And she has a quiet death. And in her words, she dies as a small, shriveled woman in her 60s. The other life that she visits is even thousands of years ahead of this life in the 1800s as Abby, which also goes to show that, when you're doing past life regression, you do not regress in a linear manner. You regress pertaining to the source of the problem that you have come with to that session. So it does not mean that regression happens in a linear manner. You will go to the life irrespective of the timeline that will answer the question that you have today. So in this life, which is way ahead, thousands of years ahead, so it's prehistoric era time, she dies from an epidemic caused by water flooding, and the area that she in is completely dry. The water is infected, and they drink the water, but this water is making them sick. So no amount of garlic that they eat as medicine in that era can save her or her family. So she has a painful death in that life. And the age is not mentioned, but from Dr. Weiss's writing, it is apparent she dies young. And she sees her family die in front of her eyes. So Dr. Weiss progresses Catherine in both her lifetimes to explore her death. And he's more keen to know about the in-between state. And I can speak for myself, and I'm sure for a lot of PLR therapists, we are quite keen to know more about the in-between state. And what is the state is, it is the state uh, after your death and before a rebirth. So the conscious, because when you do die, and from this book you will understand that the body dies, but your consciousness still remains. So where does this consciousness and what does it do in between the state of death and rebirth? And there is no given formula that in X months or Y years, you're going to have a rebirth again. As a part of my sessions, I get to see that some souls, if you're comfortable, I use that word, spend a few years in that in-between state, learning the lessons from the life that they've just left behind before they're ready to take on the next physical avatar. And in some cases, there is an immediate jump back into the physical state. So there is no one size fits all. We all come with our own intent and purposes into our physical state. And this in between time, there is no fixed time as such. So I just want to read from the book where he talks about the in between state that Catherine experiences. He says, I was fascinated by the way her conceptions of death and the afterlife changed so much from lifetime to lifetime. And yet, her experience of death itself was so uniform, so similar every time. A conscious part of her would leave the body around the moment of death, floating above and then being drawn to a wonderful, energizing light. She would then wait for someone to come and help her. The soul automatically passed on. So, in all her deaths, so the situations around her deaths could be different. It could be a natural death, a traumatic death, a death from disease. So, the death could have a lot of drama to it. But what happens after death seems very simple and it's very similar. After death, the soul hovers over the body, it gets attached to white blinding light, and the soul waits for someone to come for the for the newly passed soul. And Dr. Brian Weiss further writes, embalming, burial rituals, or any other procedure after death had nothing to do with it. It was automatic. No preparation necessary, like walking through a just open door. So various religions have different rituals when it comes to death. People have different beliefs, but death is a common denominator across the more than 6-7 billion people across the world today. The common denominator is A, we're all breathing, and B, we're all going to die. And past life regression also teaches you the fact that this death is going to be uniform, and there is no ritual that actually prepares you for it. It's like just walking through an automatic door and you pass on to the other side. And there is no long ritual that needs to be done for you to move into the afterlife. Also in chapter 4, it's a very critical moment because the doctor meets the masters. And when we are talking about masters, we're not even talking about Catherine's spirit guides, let's say, but we're talking about the master spirits, who maybe in today's day and age we call ascended masters. And I think in some sessions you do have ascended masters also coming through who guide the person who's having the regression. So the master spirits, they guide Catherine to reveal certain messages to the doctor, which are truths of hardship that he's had in his personal life. And there's no way that Catherine could have known anything about the personal life of the doctor, because the doctor reiterates that he's kept his personal life very apart from his professional life with Catherine. And when the masters reveal these truths to him, the doctor is actually shocked. He says, here in 1982, in my quiet, darkened office, a deafening cascade of hidden secret truths was pouring upon me. I was swimming in a spiritual sea. My arms were goose flesh. Catherine could not possibly know this information. There was no place to even look it up. My father's Hebrew name, that I had a son who died in his infancy from a 1 in 10 million heart defect. my brooding about medicine, my father's death, and my own daughter's naming. It was too specific, too true. This unsophisticated laboratory technician, who's Catherine, was a conduit for transcendental knowledge. And if she could reveal these truths, what else was there I needed to know more? So, in these sessions, Catherine does not only regress to her past lives or to the lessons she's learned, but she also has masters who turn up. And perhaps because this is to prod Dr. Brian Weiss to write this book, and so that after 4 decades, we are now doing book reading, and with PLR becoming a form of healing to millions of people all over the world. Uh, the masters reveal certain truths that only the doctor could have known about how his infant son had died, I think 23 to 28 days after birth, because he had a congenital heart defect. His father had died of a heart attack. His daughter was named after his father. So, all these things Catherine could have never known about, and the masters bring it up. So, this sort of pricks the doctor's curiosity more, and he's like, there has to be more. I mean, a lot of the reason we are in this, uh, uh, what we do, is because we're so curious to scratch the surface to see what else is beneath. We go to a regression therapist because we have a certain problem and we want to go beneath the surface of the problem to understand what are the layers uh, below the problem. What is it that's leading to the manifestation of the problem? So, the doctor says my life is never going to be the same again because his scientific approach to similar phenomenon, his naturally critical bent of mind, his skepticism is all questioned and is put to task by his sessions with Catherine. And on a parting note, this is what the doctor says. And I think a lot of us will be able to understand what he's saying. He says, I felt more hope, more joy, more purpose, and more satisfaction in my life. It dawned on me that I was losing the fear of death. I wasn't afraid of my own death or of non existence because past life regression teaches you that though death is a constant, you do not die. You are still that fire of energy that moves to another physical existence, perhaps, or onto other realms, but you do not die. You, inside you, does not never die. I was less afraid of losing others, even though I would certainly miss them. How powerful the fear of death is. People go to such great lengths to avoid fear. Midlife crisis, affairs with younger people, cosmetic surgeries, exercise obsessions, accumulating material possessions, procreating to carry our name forward, striving to be more and more youthful, and so on. We are so frightfully concerned about our own deaths, sometimes so much that we forget the real purpose of our lives. So, with this, I'd like to wrap up the reading on chapter 4 with the key takeaways being that death is just you walking through the door, that there are masters who guide us through life and uh, afterlife as well, and that the ritual of death is simple and there's no need to fear it. So I'd like to hand over to the person who's doing chapter 5 now. I think that's Disha.
Yes, thank you so much, Pratiksha. It was so wonderful the way you
Welcome.
explained, and you also read some paragraphs, very beautiful passages you read from the book also, very beautifully explained. See, everybody is watching this, and you can see that, from her experience of taking past life regression sessions, she has a very deeper understanding. Anybody can read the book, but the therapists who are coming here and sharing from their experience, they have done therapy for so many people, and when they explain you the book, it's really different. I'm so happy. So thank you so much, Pratiksha. The next speaker is Disha Devadiga. She's a Reiki teacher. She's a past life regression therapist. She's having a full-time job in the bank, and still she, takes time to, uh, you know, participate on these things because that is her passion. But unfortunately, something, I think the electricity has gone from her house or something like that. So she's unable to join our session. But I will take this liberty to, explain you the fifth chapter. So today our plan was to do 5 chapters. There are in all 16 chapters in this book. So we are going to, I'm just going to share with you this from my point of view. I've read this book so many times, so I really love this. Very beautiful book. So in this chapter number 5, Dr. Brian Weiss continues his remarkable journey into past life regression. And it's a very important, a very significant turning point in Dr. Brian's work with Catherine. He begins to use past life regression as a therapeutic tool to help her overcome her fears and anxiety. That was the main reason why she came for a PLR, like therapy session. Dr. Brian Weiss sends Catherine to successive regressions, which are intended to help her recognize the origins of the of her fears and anxieties. Now, Dr. Brian Weiss, his confidence on this therapy has increased a lot by this time. He has already done so many sessions, so many conventional therapy, and now past life regression therapy also. And Catherine remembers herself as a 19th century young woman. So in this chapter, he describes this lifetime in England, and her name was Elizabeth. And this girl, Elizabeth, encountered a traumatic appearance that appears to associated with her phobia of her present time. And Dr. Brian Weiss was really amazed at the vivid imagery and the details that she was sharing. And there was a link to her past life and the current symptoms. So all these things that we experience in life, whatever you experience right now, it is stored in the cellular memory. And when you take another birth, that memory is there. It's stored somewhere. And our bodies remember our past experiences. That's why when many times when we take people into past life regression, they not only see the things, but they also feel it. Multiple sessions we have seen that people see themselves in like very cold places where there is ice and everything, and they can feel that cold also. They can feel uh, that thing happening. So these memories are affecting our present life, our present behavior, our present emotion. So by past life regression, it's a means by which Catherine could once again access and release those memories. And we can also do that. We can also access it. And even in this chapter, number 5, masters are very significant. It's a very significant part in the work with Catherine. Masters are guiding them, counseling her. And as she goes deeper into the roots of fear and anxiety, the masters are there to support her. The presence of the masters helps in speeding up the healing process. That's why most of the time, like, we make people aware about them also. Dr. Brian Weiss was also amazed at the peace and resolution that seemed to emerge from this. The moment the masters come, things move fast, and many things that you have not learned in even in your entire lifetime in the previous lifetimes, you learn in one PLR session. Many times there are some lessons to be learned, but people pass their entire life and they don't learn the lesson. But the same lessons are learned in one session also when we take the help of the masters also. So there was a therapeutic breakthrough. So Catherine started having a breakthrough in her life. The symptoms had already started disappearing, and it started to disappear very fast. And she started to feel calm and peaceful. Anxiety had disappeared. Stress had disappeared. It was a big relief. And this was something that she was waiting for. She was waiting for her emotional wounds to be healed. Catherine started to have an expansion of consciousness, especially because of the masters. She started to see the world in a different way. And Dr. Brian Weiss is struck by a sense of connection and unity that emerges from this work. We are connected. We are connected to many people. The people who are in our current lifetime, we have met them before also. So we can go beyond the time and space, and we can check out the larger picture of the complex universe in this past life regression. Catherine discovered this, and she understood something very deep, that the human experience, it is not possible to think about such breakthroughs or even imagine that. Words cannot express what you can gain from this. So, Dr. Brian Weiss, in this chapter number 5, again, he is inviting us to challenge the assumptions, and he's saying that the nature of consciousness we don't know. We need to explore this. Whatever is causing trouble, the roots of that may not be in this life, but in past. And we need to grow. We need to heal that. And that's possible with past life regression. That's what this chapter is all about. And it's 10 o'clock. I hope you had a wonderful time. Just type in the comments like how you felt about this. What did you learn and what are you taking back? And tomorrow we are going to go deeper into this into sixth chapter, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th chapter. So we are going to have an amazing lineup of speakers again tomorrow, speaking from their own experience, rich experience. So, like anyone has any questions, you can please connect with any of us, and you can chat with us in the. There are some WhatsApp groups where you are part of already, so you can connect with us and ask questions also. And we are here to share this knowledge, and we'll continue this journey tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye bye. See you soon tomorrow, same time at 9 o'clock.